When I was starting in photography, how to learn how to see the light, I never knew what the heck they were talking about when they said see the light, learn to see the light. And I did start seeing the light where it was coming from, how strong it was compared to the shadow area. I just started seeing the light and then noticing the highlights, the differences that make such a difference in a portrait. How dramatic can something be? How can anything look the way it does when it is easily manipulated? I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. So look, seeing the light is everything in photography. It 100% is. So while you may be doom scrolling on camera brands and with lenses and you're at $10,000 range of I need gear, before you do any of that, I want you to learn how to see the light. Which way is it coming from? How much is the shadow area on this side compared to the brightness on here? When you're outside, when you have that beautiful daylight sun happening, why does it look prettier in the early morning or the end of the day? Why is everything in between when there's no clouds in the sky? Why is it so harsh and bright? And it doesn't work with people, but it works with cars, maybe some landscapes. This is all of the things that you should be practicing on your own time, or even when you're just driving around or you're walking around with your family. You're gonna see light everywhere, whether you're in a building, how they are lighting that room, where are the highlights and the shadows. Everything in photography is about working with light. Everything else that you learn within photography still has to complement the light the way you want it to act on whatever subject matter that is, whether it's food, whether it's the mountains, whether it's high-speed cars, whether it's architecture, whether it's people, whether it's kids, children, maternity, that beautiful maternity belly that women have. Did you know? I'm sure you do, but if you didn't, what makes something look more round is more of the shadow areas, not the highlight. So if you're putting your subjects in the flat light of the sun, they don't look as beautifully round as they should. These are all the things that I want to show you how to see on this channel from here on out. I love what I do, but I also love teaching photography. And I have always been a visual learner. If you talk specs, I may or may not understand it, but if you explain it in a visual form, it makes sense to me. It gets burned into my brain and I don't ever stop seeing that example. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? All right, follow me. So look, I'm gonna take you back to my roots, back to the beginning days of when I was learning photography, when I was being taught how to see the light, how to expose for the light, and how you can manipulate the light. Those things are so important to me. I don't care whether you're an old veteran shooting like me for 30 plus years, or maybe you, the person that found this video that is brand new to photography, and you think spending money on expensive gear is what is gonna make your photography look good, and it's not. Let me show you something. Our story takes us back to these days. These old cameras, these old film cameras. Back in the 50s, in the 60s, and depending on the speed film you put in this thing, determined how you were metering the light where you were shooting, where you were taking pictures of. That makes all the difference in the world. That one thing. And it's not the fact that it's the capture of the film, it's the ISO of the film. And depending on the ISO of the film, meaning whether you can shoot in bright sun or you're trying to photograph in the evening and you want some, extra grainy, light absorbent film like 3200 speed, you get different results with 100 ISO and 3200 ISO. And these cameras, this one in particular, this is a fixed lens, okay? I honestly don't know what the fixed aperture is on this thing. Say it's an f4, okay? If this thing is only an f4, that means no matter what speed film you're putting in here, you're gonna meter 100 ISO at f4, right? Same thing with 3200, same thing with 800. My point is, the old masters learned the very bare basics, the holy trinity, the three things, the trinity of photography: ISO, shutter speed, and your aperture. How much light you let in, how much you need to be shooting your shutter to stop action or not, and depending on your scenario, how to use these three things in combination so you're always photographing in manual mode, getting what you want, not putting your camera on program. There was no program on these things. And you can look up old school black and whites. Go look up 1950 black and whites from the old Yashicas. This is a Duoflex 2 by Kodak, of course, who does not exist basically anymore. But my point is, these guys learn their tools, they learn to see the light, they learn to direct the shot to get what they wanted with what they had. And they made creative, beautiful, beautiful imagery from the bare basics. So stop thinking you need a $5,000 Sony camera to take good pictures, because you don't.